Manually assigning salespeople, employees, or other users to various records within your system, like orders or inquiries or leads, is a big waste of time and it leads to delays. This can be accomplished automatically. Within SmartSuite, you can apply different conditions to assign those users to the different records that are important to you. And I'll show you how. Check it out. Welcome back. I'm Zack from InnerDev Solutions. We help businesses streamline their processes using custom no-code tools so you can focus on what matters most. To learn more, you can visit our website, innerdevsolutions.com, or use the link in the description below. If you don't have a SmartSuite account already, there's a link in the description below to get started. We're going to jump right in here. I have a really simple solution set up, and actually in this tutorial, we do not even need this items table. This items is just a line items table that links to our orders. We're going to work within orders, and we're going to work within salespeople. I'm going to go to salespeople to start. And I'm just going to run through the setup. The two important fields is the states managed and the salesperson user field. If I click into it, you can see that it's an assigned to field type. And then if I scroll down, I have the disable assignment notifications off. But really all we're doing is adding a first name, last name. So that's John Smith. And we're assigning that user account within SmartSuite to that person. Here's one that's a little clear. Zack Stevenson's myself, and I'm just assigning this assigned to a field to this person because we need to use this as a reference within the automation. And the other important one, this is a multi-select field that has a list of all of the states in the US, and it actually has the full version and the short version of each state for reference, and you'll see why that is important shortly. I'm going to create a really simple system in this use case. As I mentioned, you can use deal value. You can use really any type of condition you want, but I'm going to assign the salesperson to an order based off of the location. I've kept it simple. I've split up the two salespeople that look after 25 Eastern states, most Eastern states, and 25 most Western states, as you can see here. Orders, again, really simple setup. I have an assigned to field. I have a date field, could be an order date, something like that, status, customer name. And then the important ones here is the address and the state, and the assigned to are really the most important fields. And then if you click into this, I have it disabled so that I don't get bombarded with different notifications. But what you'll probably want to do is have this unchecked so that when a user is assigned, they will get notification. This is really simple. It's an address field within SmartSuite. You can use single line or multi-line. I have it set up as a single line. And that way, when you create a record, it allows you to go in and validate the address that you're entering. You can see I have two of the same addresses for New York, and we have California, which is on the west side. So it aligns with these two different salespeople. And you can see that I have duplicated those types of addresses. And in this case, I have a New York and a shortened version of NY, and California in the shortened version or the state code as C. Now, I'm using a formula field in this case to get the state. There is an option to go into the fields to display, click this little plus button and select state, but it does not allow us to use the state the way that I want to use it within the automation. I'm just going to keep that hidden for now. And I'll show you that I have a state field, which is a formula looking at the address and bringing in the state with dot notation. Now that we have this all set up, we can go into automations and we're going to create automation. Best to always label your automations and just type in assign sales by location. Add a trigger. And in this case, I'm going to use it when a record matches a condition. And there's going to be a few conditions here. So the first thing I'm going to do is when the date is not empty, when the assigned to field is empty, and when the location, or I guess it's address in this case, and when the address is not empty. Now this will trigger once all of these conditions have been met, and I can go into the add action now. And the first thing I want to do is find a record. What we're going to do, an order gets submitted, the details are entered that we need entered. Now it is going to go connect the salesperson to that new order record. From the order, we're going to go, next step is find the salesperson. We're going to select table, salespeople, and we just want one single record. And if no records are found, you can decide to set it to fail if you want, or continue, and you can add in additional steps if needed. I'm just going to leave continue for now. Sort the records found by, that doesn't matter in our case. And the condition here is where it's important. If I type in states managed, and we want to make sure it has any of, we click this plus icon, we can go back to the trigger, fields from the trigger, and select state. This is where it's important that we created that formula field with the dot notation to pull in the state. We select that, we can go add an action, and now we're going to update our original trigger record. We can go fields to update, we can go the assigned to field, and we can assign the member from the find one record at salespeople, the salesperson user right here. And once we add that automation, we'll toggle that on. Once it's saved, everything looks good. And now for New York, we've got two different ones. If I go into salespeople, it looks like John Smith or the InnerDev support account is going to have the New York. We click into it, we can see New York is right here. So if this is set up properly, and once we add a date, I'll add a date for this other one, we can see that it should pull in John Smith or the InnerDev account, which it did for both of these. And I'll add dates for the bottom two as well. And within a few minutes, there should be an assigned to for each of these. It did correctly add the salesperson to these two records, and same thing with these two here. Just a really simple tutorial for today, but this should get you headed in the right direction for conditionally assigning different users to various records within your solution, whatever that may be. That's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more tutorials in the future.